Following up on the previous lecture, let's see what types of data can be stored in memory and used by Python applications. The Python programming language defines many types of data for many types of operations. We will have a look at the most widely used data types starting in this lecture. As an overview, let's enumerate the most famous and useful Python data types. So, we have strings, numbers, booleans, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. We also have the none type, none with a capital N. None is used to represent the absence of a value. You should see it as being equivalent to nothing or empty. All these data types are built in the Python language core, and you will see that they are very clearly defined and very easy to use. Okay, one way to classify data types is by whether the objects of a data type can be modified after creation or not. So, this leads to two kinds of data types. Mutable types, which can be modified after creation. Here we can mention lists, dictionaries, and sets. And immutable. Here we have strings, numbers, and tuples. Of course, other data types may be included in these categories, but we will stick with the most famous ones for now. So remember, if you have an object of an immutable type, you cannot change the content of that object in any way. You will just have to create another object with the content you want. To find out the type of data for an object, you can use the type command in the Python interpreter shell. So let's check this out. Let's go to the shell, Python. Okay. Now let's create var1 and assign it the value hello. var2, let's set this equal to 10. And var3, let's set this equal to 1.5. Okay, now let's check the type for each of these variables. So, we are using type, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and the variable name, var1. Okay, we can see that the type is str, this means string. And this is correct because hello, being enclosed by double quotes, is a string. Let's do the same for var2. We now see that the type is int, and this means integer. And of course, 10 is an integer, so this is correct also. Let's do this for var3 now. We can see type float. The type float is associated with numbers which have a decimal point within them, so this is correct again. Now, let's also create var4 and set this equal to 10 enclosed by double quotes. And check its type of var4, and we can see that it is a string, and this is correct because although 10 is an integer, we enclosed it by double quotes, so it became a string. Okay, so keep in mind that you have the type function available whenever you want to check the data type of something. Now it's time to have a closer look on a data type we already talked about earlier in the course, strings.